All right, hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I didn't do a Sunday shitbag roundup over the weekend. It just ended up being a busy weekend, and I want to change up the day that I'm doing it as well. Thinking about doing it on a Saturday, 6 p.m. instead. So I'm just working out what works best for my schedule. But wanted to get you guys caught up with some of the things that are going on. First, some really good news: Stephen Colbert and the Night Show is being canceled by Paramount and CBS. Of course, he went on to do his show on Thursday, beat butthurt, and tell everybody about the bad news. Check this out.
Before we start the show, I want to let you know something that I found out just last night. Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May. And yeah, I share your feelings. It's not just the end of our show, but it's the end of The Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away. And I do want to say, that the folks at CBS have been great partners.
All right, so let's get into a little bit of this because in another part of his monologue, he goes on to claim that this is because of President Trump suing the parent company, CBS, over the dishonest interview with Kamala Harris. So as you might remember, the 60 Minutes or something had Kamala on when they were both running for office, and they edited it and cut down the video so many times because she was such a moron that they worked with her to make her seem even semi-competent, which took a lot of editing in order to get that done. But here's some of this here. So Stephen Colbert has spoken out after The Late Show was canceled for good. CBS shockingly announced the legendary program with Stephen Colbert would be coming to an abrupt end. That was legendary because it had Johnny Carson. That's why. And then eventually David Letterman, and then this hack, this unfunny leftist hack. CBS revealed the news just hours before Stephen hosted Thursday night's episode, with the TV titan only learning of the news shortly before the announcement was made public. On top of the night's episode, Stephen, 61, formally acknowledged that CBS will bring the show to an end in May. When the audience booed the news of the show's acts, Stephen smiled and said, "Yeah, I share your feelings. It's not just the end of our show, but it's the end of The Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away." He added, "I want to say that the folks at CBS have been great partners," even though he had been trashing them prior to losing the lawsuit and being willing to pay President Trump. Which probably didn't help their decision-making process at all, right? You got somebody in a company you own, and he has a shit show that nobody watches. It has about, I think when I looked it up, AI told me, and then I looked at it just regular online as well, that it was 2 million overall viewers. Now, there's guys on TikTok and YouTube and Rumble right now that have more than 2 million viewers. So you've got people that are online content creators that are doing more than what used to be a major late night show. I mean, that's pretty bad. And honestly, with how technology is moving on, no one is really watching late night shows anymore except boomers and lefty morons, that clap for all of his garbage. He's got a cast of 200 people that help produce the show and write jokes for him because he's not funny at all. Let's continue here. And of course, I'm grateful to you, the audience, who have joined us every night in here, out there, all around the world. Mr. and Mrs. America and all the ships at sea. And I'm extraordinarily deeply grateful to the 200 people who work here. So it's 200 idiots who have to help make this asshole funny. He continued to just about the job he loves, we get to do the show, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so he continued on in the monologue for saying that that I pity CBS if they think canceling Colbert is a good idea. Some people said no longer a great network. This is a huge mistake, one person raged online after the news was public. Honestly, who gives a shit about the Late Show with Stephen Colbert? That it's ruined, it's put a damper on your life and you got to figure things out. It's absolutely ridiculous. CBS, one of the stupidest things I've seen a network do. Stephen Colbert is the best of late night TV. Huge mistake. So, that's probably some hack writing online. Now, apparently he was the best of the late night people. So that was Jimmie Kimmel, Seth Meyers, the other hacks and unfunny losers whose shows are even worse than his, if you can imagine it. Now, the word is that it was losing. They were paying the guy like $16 million a year, $20 million a year, and the show was losing $40 million a year. That's the alleged about it. Now, some people are speculating that this was done in order to sweeten the final settlement deal with President Trump. They ended up paying $16 million. I think in the beginning it was significantly more, and they negotiated it down to that. And one of the things was getting rid of Stephen Colbert and his show, because he's been critical of Trump the entire time from day one. The guy's been a left-wing political hack, just shitting on Trump. So regardless of whether that's the case or not, and by the way, they've canceled other shows. They're trying to say that this was illegal, what was done was wrong, yada yada. They canceled Tucker for political reasons, right? Talking about the Dominion voting machines and claiming that there were issues with those on his show. So they ended up having to pay a settlement out to Dominion, and then ended up firing him as a result of that. So saying that it was wrong to fire him because of political means, it's happened to everybody else and no one had a problem with it. The left didn't have a problem about Tucker being fired off Fox, and he's actually bigger now that he left Fox than he was when he was on it. Stephen Colbert, I can only hope that he goes away and he never has an opportunity to work again. The guy is an unfunny left-wing hack piece of shit, but chances are he's going to go do a podcast. He's going to do his own kind of off-the-book show on YouTube or something, and find a way to make money and continue on that way. Maybe not making as much as he did being a hack on The Late Show, but all of these guys find a way to keep going. They never just go away, unfortunately, and they really need to, because they've just got a base of morons following them that don't understand what's going on and think that his content is funny. If anyone remembers, I'm not going to play it here, but he, for the Pfizer thing, in the beginning during COVID, he was speaking out against Big Pharma. And then after it was all over and he was back on the air, he had all the guys dressed up as giant needles, and they were dancing around talking about, what it was a good idea it was to get the vaccine. That thing that's doing serious harm to the millions of people. And he had them all dancing through the aisles and on stage, and he was dancing with them too. It was absolutely cringe, but it just shows another thing that the guy is absolutely a sellout. And I'm just... Thanks to President Trump. If part of this lawsuit is involving the president, one of the reasons they're getting rid of him, on behalf of America, thank you. One more left-wing political piece of shit gone. And by the way, scuttlebutt is Jimmy Kimmel's on his way out. That's another left-wing hack. And I'll remind you guys a quick clip here that Mr. Left-Wing Feminist used to be on something called The Man Show for Generation X. Anyone that remembers that, with Adam Carolla. And here's a clip right here to a little nostalgia moment where Jimmy Kimmel used to be a regular kind of conservative guy and had no problem hanging out with women before he became a left-wing feminist hack. Here it is as we finish up. Thanks, everyone.